So being a Schopenhauer guy, most of your work again is done by sort of appearing briefly then disappearing. So that's been the past week in fairness in terms of the current election. I think we all collectively realise that there is a limit in by-elections, and if you are trying to discuss things with people every day, they are getting a bit better of it. But today is the final result. So polls close at 10. We're now 22-7, looking at the ridiculous thing on my list. So we've got a few hours to go until we close. If I was in Birmingham, I'd probably be doing the work, but now I've done the work in Wigan, and we're now retreating back to the bunker. Regardless of what happens, I mean, this is probably the most interesting by-election in my lifetime, certainly. I can't think of a better one to be a spectator of. Of course, we've been a close spectator, so we arrived on the first week of canvassing and second as well. Worked pretty hard over that time and had to retreat occasionally to deal with imbecile grummies thinking they can do silly paper processes where they pretend let's just think of the level of intelligence in Birmingham currently. Because we worked out in modern management theory terms, they were giving a laptop to a woman, and because there's a laptop with a woman in modern management theory terms, you couldn't attack the woman because it's biological, isn't it? A tribunal is supposed to say, oh, me man being naughty to the woman, but the woman is being told, get police now, and refusing to do so is at this point criminally liable. A lot of people are going to be prosecuted under the Citizens Conduct Policy and Misconduct from Public Office, and that's already a jailable sentence. And of course we're talking about potentially a referendum on the death penalty ultimately. So there's fairly obviously going to be incentive for these people not to be honest, just based on the current state of things. And for obvious reasons, we're in a money compliance department, and these people are seriously dishonest, they're going to be viewed into caution. And you would think, if you were intelligent, you would think about the housing stock and how it's going to be used in what's likely to happen in the peaceful transfer of political power. So if these idiots think you could, how this is going to work, the entire job can be done from a laptop, so they have to delete my brain effectively, which they can't do. The whole point is I'm saying we can't actually put possession orders through because the department is criminally run and corrupt, because we're not looking after our tenants, and the managing director is an imbecile who's interfering with that process, and we tried to stop it, and of course they're flailing around behind computers trying to make me vanish, and they can't make me vanish, and they can't absorb the blows, so they're trying to put effectively sort of scarecrows in front of me at the moment, sort of fictitious human who says things, so they don't have to actually take accountability for their imbecile decisions. If it doesn't work, so of course the previous woman in the chain is responsible for this and knows who sent this rubbish, so she's just going to be prosecuted. You thank the old man for the brain he gave you. You can sort of sit here at a motorway service station and make these inferences straightforwardly. It's just obvious. If people are committing serious misconduct, then the people aiding and abetting them are also going to be charged, aren't they? So if the people in Birmingham are not fetching police from November till now, that's because there are lots of dangerous criminals, aren't they? People like Jennifer Southall want patronage money, and David Ford want patronage money. So they will attack their staff to get it, and then pretend they vanished and refuse representation, but they can't do that because they haven't vanished. So at some point they're going to have to deal with the problem, it's just that they're refusing and behaving in an absurd manner. But again, because the culture is so infantilised in the department that deals with, continual threats of violence, the role just broke down. You can't have people who can't have an adult discussion in those kind of roles, because at some point you have to say, no, I'm sorry, this is the way things are, because that's the job. So if you're leaving us with imbecile religious centre manager in charge of it who can't do the job, and all she can do is pump her fists and talk down to people which she mistakes for assertiveness in compliance terms, because she's an imbecile. But the local authority, because of the ideological capture, put people like this into positions of authority, which they couldn't do, made sure that these people would be ultimate apparatchiks. They wouldn't say anything for money. And of course, now in the current situation, any pressure on someone like Southall via police, I mean, she'll just confess the whole lot. So, you pull these lovely ladies out of where they're hiding, interview them under caution, and then you arrest the managing directors. You don't need £30 to do this kind of stuff. It's already under existing law. If you look at sensible inferences from the case law going through the courts, so it's gone from, okay, we'll sue you in terms of personal liability. But if you think about the sort of stuff that's going on in that setting, it's criminal liability, isn't it? Because they're very, very dangerous and violent people attacking others, and being told it's entirely appropriate to do that by people who shouldn't be anywhere near public bodies. And again, you make these inferences straightforwardly after Coldwell Neal versus Lloyd's Bank. He's the only guy in the bank who says, no, this person doesn't belong here, or doesn't even say that. And sorry, I'm asking questions, something not right here. That was correct, so he identified this woman as a charlatan. So this is what people in banks do. If you're in a compliance team and someone doesn't belong there, you get rid of them, which is what you're paid to do. So, I mean, it's good to sit on the motorway service station and rant into a microphone, because you can actually think about these things through. Think about the current legal position for these people, and just straightforwardly say, whenever they pick up a phone or do anything, sorry, I don't care, fetch police, you've been told to do that months ago. What planet do you think you're living on where you can behave like this? So get Deborah away from her laptop, get police in. When I say police, I mean a large adult man with handcuffs who can restrain her and take her away to a police station where she'll be interviewed under caution. Once again, the police station is down the road from me in Edinburgh. They can come and knock on my door. We can come have a discussion, which we've been trying to do since last year. So, when you're dealing with people in compliance departments, brummies, you need to comply. You can't run it as a sort of a creche for these useless people who shouldn't be in the job. But sorry to rant, and in case this is spoiling the karma, I think everyone's feeling fairly positive about the results. So regardless of what happens, we're going to win. But the result itself is going to be one to look out for.